Right, let's take you live to the Lok Sabha where Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is speaking.
Services, providing clarity and avoiding unintended tax implications. Now, all these amendments were carried out in the Central GST Act for providing certainty to taxpayers and enhance the ease of compliance and the ease of living for taxpayers and businesses. It is important, therefore, sir, that these amendments are carried out in the Manipur State GST Act as well, so that taxpayers in Manipur also benefit from these changes. And that is why I request the House to kindly take it up and pass it. Thank you very much.
And Prime Minister Modi welcomed Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan as the chairperson of Rajya Sabha as the proceedings of the upper house started for the winter session. Opposition leader Mallikarjun Kharge also welcomed the chairperson. In his welcome address, the Prime Minister praised Vice President Radhakrishnan for his work ethic.
मैंने आपको एक कार्यकर्ता के रूप में देखा है, एक सहयोगी के रूप में हम साथ काम किए हैं, सांसद के रूप में देखा है, अलग अलग पदों पर देखते हुए आज यहां पर पहुंचे। लेकिन मैंने एक बात महसूस की है कि आमतौर पर सार्वजनिक जीवन में पद पर पहुंचने के बाद कभी लोग पद का भार अनुभव करते हैं और कभी-कभी प्रोटोकॉल में दब जाते हैं। लेकिन मैंने देखा है कि आपको और प्रोटोकॉल का कोई नाता ही नहीं रहा है। आप प्रोटोकॉल के परे रहे। और मैं समझता हूं सार्वजनिक जीवन में प्रोटोकॉल से मुक्त जीवन की एक ताकत होती है और वो ताकत हम हमेशा आप में अनुभव करते रहे हैं और ये हमारे लिए गर्व का विषय है।
Now, proceedings of both houses of parliament are underway. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman introduced 3 bills in the lower house of parliament to levy excise duty on tobacco and tobacco products and a new cess on manufacturing of pan masala, which will replace the GST compensation cess on such goods. The Central Excise Amendment Bill 2025 will replace the GST compensation cess, which is currently levied on all tobacco products. The Health Security Say National Security Cess Bill 2025 to augment the resources for meeting expenditure on national security and public health and to levy a cess for the set purposes on the machines installed or other processes undertaken. The Minister also introduced the Manipur Goods and Services Tax Second Amendment Bill in the Lok Sabha to amend the Manipur Goods and Services Tax Act of 2017. Right, joining us are my colleague Vishal Barrister. Also with us is our guest, Mr. Shekhar Iyer. Let me come to you first, Vishal, before I bring in our guests on this broadcast. Give us a lowdown of all that happened in Parliament since this morning.
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Ramesh. As was expected, both the Treasury and the opposition are not letting it go because the Treasury had already announced that it would like a discussion on the Delhi blast and also would like to introduce some very important bills. You already mentioned some of the bills introduced by our Finance Minister in the lower house of the Parliament. That includes the GST bill on the Manipur. Remember, Manipur is under President rule and now a new GST bill has to be introduced. And then there were other bills on the sin taxes like tobacco and pan masalas and their impact on the GST if GST are not being taken. And apart from that, the opposition is hell-bound to have a discussion on the special SIR. We know that it's going all across the country and the government has made it very clear that it is an exercise taken by the election department and it has nothing to do with it. You heard the Prime Minister saying it very clearly that this is no place for drama, taking a dig at the opposition because the opposition has not been allowing the parliament to run, and in both houses of the parliament there have been repeated disruptions. So as was expected, the house had to be adjourned twice, both the lower and the upper house, and at 2 p.m. The finance minister started speaking on the bill introduced for GST bill on Manipur, and then there were again disruptions. So the opposition is not letting it go.
Right, we'll leave it there for now, Vishal. Thank you. Vishal Barrister reporting there on the Parliament proceedings. Coming to you now, Mr. Iyer. First of all, welcome to this broadcast. The Prime Minister spoke about the responsibilities of an opposition. He reminded anybody who cared to listen that Parliament should be about delivery, not drama. The emphasis should be on policy, not slogans. Put partisan interests aside and put nation first. Your thoughts to begin with on the PM's remarks there, Mr. Iyer.
Thank you, Mr. Ramesh. We have seen, this has been a pattern in several sessions, throughout 2025, even to some large parts of 2024. Even after the 2024 elections, we have seen opposition not willing to go through a structured debate on most issues. Now, this time they have taken up a special intensive revision and they want a discussion on that. The government's consistent position has been in the previous session also, in the budget session also, that we cannot discuss election commission in Parliament because government is not election commission. If there is a debate, government cannot respond to points raised by the opposition because it's an institution, just as you cannot discuss the conduct of the Supreme Court. You cannot discuss the conduct of any institution for which the government cannot answer to Parliament. This has been a consistent position. And for other matters, the government has always said you can bring it to a structured debate because there are several provisions in the rules of conduct of business in both the houses where a member can give a notice and proper notice and will come up. But what the pattern we see is the opposition, particularly the leadership, I think this is a very important point that the Prime Minister has made today. See, there are a number of MPs, many of them first-time MPs, who got elected in 2025 would like to participate in the debate. But their parties, their leadership, their leaders have decided to disrupt Parliament. Basically, what we are seeing is, leaders like Rahul Gandhi who feel we must not let this Parliament function, A. B, we must not cooperate in passage of any bills. C, we will to the extent, show that it is government which is not allowing the discussion without bringing focus to their own conduct. Because the same thing that they are willing to say outside Parliament, they can say it inside. But it has to be through a proper debate. That they are not willing to do. So what the Prime Minister is saying, look, your conduct has not got approval from people outside. We have seen elections in Bihar, we have seen elections in Maharashtra, we have seen elections in Haryana, where the people have not given thumbs up to the conduct of the opposition. So basically it's a clarion call to the opposition to wake up and smell coffee. But your strategy is not working for you. Why are you stuck with that?
Indeed, since you referred to the elections, I have to ask you about this, the next question as well. The Prime Minister also spoke about the just concluded Bihar election. Now, can some political parties in the opposition reconcile to their defeat, electoral defeat in the state, and not allow it to disrupt the session?
There are parties, I would even say Rashtriya Janata Dal, led by Tejasvi, even they are realizing, what are the things that went wrong and how to go about it. But within the Congress, also there are many Congress leaders who personally feel that the kind of result that they got, the deeply disappointing results in Bihar have a lot to do with where the party leadership went with the campaigning, the choice of candidates. There have been allegations about Congress tickets being sold to the highest bidder. These complaints have come. But these things did not get reflected in the so-called introspective exercise undertaken by the Congress leadership on Bihar election. They are not willing to, take the problem by its horns. Rather, they keep on with that narrative that it is all because, election commission is allowing theft of their votes, or a participant in the theft of votes from what is coming to the Congress is being diverted to other parties. These are very, very absurd charges, which is not possible given the kind of electoral system we have. There are several checks and balances. Parties' representatives are present in election booths, whether at the time of enumeration of voters or verification of voter list or in the conduct of elections. Now, when our system is clear to take up something, that is why even we were told in Bihar also, it is Tejasvi Yadav who even advised Rahul Gandhi, but let us not persist with this issue, which is not clicking with the people. It is not possible that you remove thousands of genuine voters and people are not up in arms in Bihar. We did not see that. And nobody even came with the complaint, their names being removed. But what we are seeing here is, since the SIR exercise has started in 12 states, including states going to elections in April, May next year, there is somehow a feeling that this kind of purification of the electoral list, removal of people who are dead and gone, or people who no longer live in that constituency, is somehow going to affect the prospects. Why should the opposition parties think like this unless they feel that dead voters have a lot to do with their getting re-elected?
Indeed. And going back to something else you said earlier on, Mr. Iyer, what did you make of the Prime Minister's specific reference to young first-time lawmakers, how they should be given ample opportunity to take part in the proceedings and be heard and be seen?
Mr. Ramesh, this is the most crucial part of Prime Minister's appeal to the opposition today. That basically he is sensing the frustration that is growing among these first-time MPs, even other MPs who feel, who are not able to convey to their leaders that, look, stop this game which we have been playing too long and it is not working. And let us participate in the debate. And first-time MPs, many of them are well qualified, well educated. Though they may have been elected from the opposition ticket, they would like to participate. They would like to bring their critical assessment of government policies. But they cannot, because the leaders have decided that they will boycott, they will disrupt. So this is largely frustrating the first-time MPs, because many of them have not spoken once since after they got elected last year. Not even once.
Absolutely. And finally, before we close our discussion, Mr. Iyer, what can you tell us about the legislative business expected in this session? How hopeful are you of the particular bills that may have caught your attention?
Well, all the bills, you just opened the bulletin by mentioning Nirmala Sitharaman has moved those bills where, the sin goods will face a higher rate in the GST. Then there are other bills which are there and in fact the first batch of supplementary demands for grants will be taken up later. Then there are insurance laws amendment bill which will see the FDI cap go from 74% to 100%. Then you have got the security markets code bill, which is consolidating 3 laws into a single unified code for a proper functioning of the capital markets. Then you have got the atomic energy bill, which will come up with the provisions to allow, to regulate the private participation in the nuclear energy sector. This is also very important. And then you have the higher education bill, the higher education commission bill, which is to create a body that will ensure with a lot of transparency, accreditation of new universities, new private sector, educational startups and setups.
Indeed. Mr. Iyer, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you.